We're live.
Okay. All right, man.
One of those.
We're live and ready to party.
We're gonna have some fun today. Okay, guys. Good night. We are live. We have today, after technical difficulties, we have Mike Gual today and Holly Helder. We're gonna be chatting about selling merch locally. This is a whole concept, that Mike has been able to exploit, and he has been successful at it. And in this conversation, he's going to tell us a lot about what he does and how he has able to manage, not really having to go through all the hassles of having keywording and large inventories and all this stuff, where he just has to use some of his techniques to get local customers to be interested in buying his merch. You guys know Holly Helder. She's also, a co-admin on my group, Mastering Print on Demand. And she's the one responsible that today we're talking here with Mike. And you have also taken his course, right, Holly?
Yes, I have.
Yes. So we will let the first lady of merch introduce herself for the people that know her, ladies first, and then we will have Michael, give us his introduction.
Okay, so did you want me to introduce myself or introduce Mike?
No, introduce yourself because not everybody knows you, of course.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm Holly Helder. I have been doing merch almost since the beginning. And it's been a roller coaster. I think it's been a roller coaster ride for just about everybody that has been doing it since the beginning. There have been a lot of changes, of course. And I have tried a lot of different strategies. And I'm going to segue into Mike because almost from the get-go, I heard about Mike. I think that at the time, I don't know if you are still part of Chris Green's initial Udemy course, but Mike was he was sort of a case study of Chris's. Chris had mentioned, hey, there's so many different ways that you can do this. You can use it with local businesses, blah, blah, blah. And Mike just took it and ran with it from the very beginning. And I started watching his posts on Facebook, and boy, he just was doing so well. So I reached out to him because, I was really curious about, how it actually worked. And I still am to a certain degree, although I have studied it, just up and down and, around the wazoo. But I haven't actually implemented it because, I'm not a salesperson. And so many of us are not salespeople. We would prefer to sit back, and design behind a computer. A lot of us are kind of introverted. But Mike and I became friends, and, every once in a while I'd reach out and say, hey, how are you doing? And each time he was doing astonishingly well, better than the last time. And, I'm just thrilled to be able to bring him in here as, part of our interview series. And, let's take it from there, Mike.
Okay. Well, I've been a window cleaner for 25 years. So I managed to build a big 7-figure a year window cleaning business. I have 5,000 clients that I started from scratch. I used to real old school, hit the streets, door knocking, putting flyers on people's doors, going to actually local businesses, to try to pick up commercial. And then I continue to still do that today. And then in 2009, I get distracted. Sorry, but anyway, in 2009, my video is freezing. Okay, I'm okay now. Anyway, in 2009. I started making YouTube videos for my business. I was getting testimonials from customers and, just have them do a 20 to 30 second blip on, how they like my service. And I used that to also bring in leads to my business for free. So I started doing that. I started taking what I did with my business, and I started applying that to helping local businesses doing YouTube. Can you guys still hear me okay? Am I still freezing?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Anyway, so I started doing that I started showing local businesses what I was doing for my business with YouTube videos. And I started doing that for them. And I've had a couple of window cleaners telling me that I was doing a real good thing for our profession. They call me 7 a.m. saying, "Oh, those testimonials, were working really well because, not many people were doing it." So then I started doing. I got into affiliate marketing in 2009, and I don't know if you guys remember, when the Kindle was like just coming out, and so I started making these little like cheesy videos, and I was doing affiliate, and then I have little affiliate links that would point to Amazon, and that took off really well for me too. But YouTube shut my account down because they don't give you a reason. I guess they were saying my content, was spammy, and it was just like I said, regular videos I was making, just giving specs, and then I didn't know much about affiliate marketing, and they shut that down. So that revenue stream went away that night, so like completely. So 2013 I tried private label, and I was successful at doing that, which I still do today, but I have people doing it for me. I removed myself from that. And then in 2015, I did books, selling used books. I still do that as well, but I have people doing it for me. Can you guys hear me okay? I see Fernando nodding his head over there.
Yeah,
can you hear me, Hal? Okay, I'm just checking. I see Fernando nodding over there, so I wasn't sure if you heard me. So I learned from Greg Murphy. You guys probably know him. He's a big bulk bookseller. So I started doing that. And what was cool about that, I get books through 4 recyclers, in my town. So I get, small gaylords of books from them and stuff like that. And also, like I said, I have people doing that for me as well. And also from my clients, I ask them if they have books they want to donate. So I get free books that way too. So fast forward to today, the merch opportunity came out in 2015, I think around September. Of course, I heard it from Chris. Chris, he was the first guy to bring it to, okay, let's see my screen. Anyway, Chris brought it, September, he brought it, he was talking about it. I really didn't pay attention to it too much because I just thought it was another, like t-shirt course or Teespring. And then in October, he spoke about it again, and he was doing a webinar with Joshua Woodward, and I actually paid for this training that he gave, and they started talking about local business. So can you guys hear me okay? Still?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just checking. So that's when I started to pay attention. So once I heard Chris talking about how you can, do this for local business, or they were talking about going to do it for bands, like musicians and stuff like that. So I just ran with it. I actually, the following day, I went over to a pizza place near my house. They just opened, and I talked to the guy, walked in, and I didn't go in like I was trying to pitch him something. I went in and ordered a pizza, and then I started talking to him about it. And then and then I asked him, I said, how would you like to get more clients into your business, using Amazon? And so he was like, intrigued. He was like, Amazon, how's Amazon going to help me, bring in clients? So I explained to him, the merch by Amazon, how we can get in clients using t-shirts. And just so to kind of give you an idea, I have some like these flyers right here. I don't know if you guys can see these. These are direct mailers. Okay. I don't know, they come to my house. I'm sure they come to your house too as well. So what I started doing is taking these direct mailers, and because they're already spending money on ads, on advertising, I went and showed them how they can use T-shirts, to bring in more clients to their business by offering them like a discount if they wear the T-shirt into the business. How they can get a discount of like, maybe 50% off for a family meal or whatever they were offering. So the first, what's nice about this is that this is real old school. This has been around forever, I guess. You got postcards like this that come to your house. These are dentists right here, and they're, like I said, they're already spending money. So they understand that I don't really have to explain too much, about, money or funds, So, like I said, I went in, I talked to this pizza place, and he happened to have 3 other places. So I charged him $250, a $250 fee to come in. To walk him through the merch by Amazon platform and get a campaign going for him. And that's a check that, I was able to, put in my bank account and not having to wait for merch to pay me my royalties. It's just and also you don't have to worry about like the difference between what I do versus the other model that Holly was mentioning, uploading T-shirts and stuff like that. I don't have to worry about people trying to steal my designs, or I have to worry about keywords. I don't have to, to tier up. I know you have to, I'm not an expert at that model, so I know you have to put a lot of T-shirts up to get any traction, with your designs. But I was able to do that with a handful of local businesses were able to cheer me up. I actually was working on, when the merch opportunity came out, I was also working on a deal for about 6 months with a tire company locally here where I live, and they have over 800 stores. So when the merch, I was going back and forth with them. I went in and I would talk to, the management, and they were trying to get me an appointment and tell me to come back. And then finally, when the merch opportunity came out, I was able to get an appointment with the, they call them the suits, the guys that wear the suits. They sit at in a boardroom. I went with an attorney and everything, and had them draw a contract, and I kind of gave them, my how I can help them. And they had an issue with, they were buying T-shirts locally, and they were keeping them in the warehouse. And they were, you imagine 800 stores buying T-shirts, what the cost of that is. So they weren't able to keep track of their T-shirts, and they were just keeping them in the back of a room, in a storeroom. So one guy mentioned that, that by doing our method, that he can save $300,000, in T-shirts, like the excuse me, $300,000 without having to have all those T-shirts sitting in his warehouse. So, and that was by, doing the private link. When you upload the shirt, you get 2 options. You get the, you upload your design, and you can have it, there's a button you can click to sell on Amazon, or you give and there's one to do a private link. And that's what I do. Excuse me, with the local owners, and I give them the link, and then they give that, they send that out to their email list or their customers, and the customers will purchase the T-shirts and excuse me, get a discount for the service, whatever service it is.
So Mike, let me interrupt you here. So to paraphrase, pretty much what you do is you go visit potential local customers, you offer them the opportunity to offer a promotion in their local advertisement, and where
Yes.
let's say, okay, you click this link and you buy this shirt, for example, and you bring it to an event that we are hosting at at this whatever restaurant, bar, or beauty salon or whatever. We will give you whichever discount or promotion we were promoting on the brochure. Is that what you do?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's what's nice is that I target the businesses that are actually that have the money to advertise. If you go to a mom and pop and they're not spending money on ads, it's a waste of time. You want to work with people that are actually doing ads, that are actually running ads to promote their business. And this is something I just basically took. There was no blueprint for me. It's just I just took something that I was familiar with because I used to do direct mail myself. Back when I was starting my business, and it's expensive to run those ads. Like that ad I just showed you, that flyer, that's like $3,000 a month to run that. That ad. So I basically just took my skills from selling, trying to build my business, and I just went to local businesses to do what I'm doing. I went out and I hit the, just like old school, like I used to do. Went out and hit the street and started talking to business owners. I go in, but that became a time suck too. So what I did is that I had business cards made up, and I just left my business card, and I had people helping me going out. Like just saying, we'd like to talk to you about how we can get more clients into your business by using Amazon. And that's it. Just keep it really, we're intriguing them to call. So we left the cards with them and to get an appointment. So I was getting calls, later on. People were calling me, not, some were calling me a week later. I had people call me like 3-4 months later. You know what I mean? Because sometimes they leave the card and it gets put aside, and employees don't always tell the boss that so and so is in and to visit. So but I was able to.
Oh, I'm sorry, Michael. I was just going to say that's something that I think even people like me that are really shy and don't want to go out there, it's pretty easy just to walk in and drop off a card and a brochure and not bother anybody, and then go back and
Right.
just wait for the calls. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And for the people that, I guess the introverts that don't want to talk to a client, you can email them. I mean, that's another method that I have, that I do. You can email the clients and just, explain in an email, you can do a little video in an email, and explain to them what you do. It's not going to be as effective as you going into a place and talking face to face, but it does work too. That's for people that, that are, not comfortable with talking to someone. So that's another way to break the ice. But at the end of the day, with this method, you have to talk to a client. It's not, if you're not willing to do that, it's not going to work. You know what I mean? You have to. And the cool thing with this method too is you can do really well, like with having a handful of clients, because the bigger picture is that I have a small ad agency that that I do other services. So the big picture is to do like a revenue share with them with the t-shirts, and let them keep most of the revenue. Like for instance, if we're listing a shirt for $19.99, that's about $7.12. So I would give them most of that. I give them like $6, and I keep $1 for myself. You know what I mean? Just to build that relationship with them, and then I can offer them other services like doing websites or doing Facebook ads or YouTube ads, stuff like that. So that's the bigger picture for me. You know what I mean? So
Mike, I'm curious because I think I saw on another interview with Fernando, you're at the 10,000 tier now?
Yes, I'm at 10,000 tier. Yes.
So do you have any idea how many t-shirts you have sold doing this strategy?
All from the tire company, they probably sold close to, I'm going to say 30,000 t-shirts. Easy.
So 30,000 at $1 royalty is pretty nice.
Yeah. Like the thing is like a lot of people talk about, they're at 10,000 and they have, I don't know, 6,000 uploads. I don't know. I don't know all that, but the tire company cheered me up to 10,000 because they sold so many t-shirts, and they still do today. So I don't have 6,000 designs at all. I mean, I have a couple hundred, for me to get there. And it was actually the tire company, five companies that got me there. There's the tire company and four smaller ones that sell pretty well too. Not anything close to me because the tire company has 800 stores. So
are the other companies all restaurants?
Restaurants and beauty salons. I know the beauty salon industry. I know that industry because my parents were in it. My mom was a hairdresser for over 50 years. So I've been around that all my life as a kid. So I knew how to go and help that type of industry too. It works because they have different types of service. They have nails, they have hair, not just a haircut, but highlights and all those high-end services, and I was able to help one salon we were doing this in the early days before, we went to the Wild Wild West. There was no, it was before the invitation, and stuff like that. So we were able, we were doing these little, she was doing these little postcard mock-ups and stuff like that to get clients to come in, because we weren't able to get the t-shirts fast enough. It's the t-shirts were taking a while to come. They come fast now because Amazon's ramped up for it. So, but I got that client. We ran an ad on on a Wednesday, and then on a Saturday, they got 60 new clients from that one ad that they did, which was really nice.
One of the reasons I wanted to bring Mike is because not everybody is, fluent on online SEO and keywording, or not everybody has the means to have so many different designs live, but they probably have a different skill set to be able to use the print-on-demand industry. I mean, what Mike has been able to do is pretty much use the old school, tactics of going door-to-door sales and be able to exploit using Amazon, platform for his benefit, and being able to tell customers, hey, you don't have to carry inventory. You don't have to, have them here, for you to get. Pretty much is $250 flat fee, which is what he charges if he feels comfortable. Doesn't mean that you have to. Every single city or state, may have different economies where you can adjust over 250 or lower than 250. That's entirely up to you. That's the fee where Mike feels comfortable charging them, just to retain his service and be able to upload that shirt design they want into the merch by Amazon store, so they can be sold on Amazon. One question Derek asked is, how liberal do you feel about using the name Amazon? I mean, I don't think it's a problem. Do you?
I don't understand how liberal. Are you able?
I mean, by liberal people probably means like, how at free, how free do you feel to use it? Probably is what I'm getting out of it.
I don't. To use it, I don't. To mention Amazon, I mean, I don't have a problem.
Yeah, I don't.
No, I mean, first of all, people don't know what merch by Amazon is. You can walk. I guarantee you, if you walk up to somebody today, they don't know what it is, but everybody knows what Amazon is. So that's what I go in. That's my approach to go in.
I understand that the question. Derek saying, can you say partner? No, Derek. What you say is pretty much you go and say, hey, how would you feel about having your product, your advertisement product, listed on Amazon? You can say that. I mean, what Mike does is that you have already let Amazon know that you do product by license, right, Mike?
Yeah, here's with a lot of the local businesses with their logos. Okay, some of them are not even trademarked. I'm talking about little places in town. Now that everything with all the stuff going on with Amazon, and all the changes that they made, yeah, you want to make sure that you have a little contract with them, with the owner to get permission. And I do have permission, yes, with all the clients that I work with. And if I run into any issues like that, you just give that to Amazon. So yeah, I made sure. But when I started, I didn't. Things have changed. I didn't have all that stuff. I was just, it's basically like, hey, Fernando, you're just a small operation in town, almost like a handshake, kind of thing. It's not like we're signing $1 million contract or anything like that. It's $250, and it's really nothing in the ads, when you're doing ads. The customer, like those flyers I was showing you guys, the customers are spending a lot of money on ads, the ones that are trying to get people in the door. So $250 is really like a drop in the bucket for them.
So I'm curious. Those ads, so many
I don't know if that answers.
Sorry?
I can't see any chat, so you'll have to let me know.
Oh, we will. I'm curious about the restaurants. So many of the restaurants
Can you hear me okay still?
Yep. Yeah. That are doing the direct response ads are actually
what ads am I referring to? These right. These ads here. These are direct mailers.
What is Taco Bell probably?
And you can see there's coupons and these things here. So what I do is I go in and I talk to them about how I can do a revenue share with them with the T-shirts, and they actually get the artist to put the offer into this actual, these types of flyers. They come to the house.
So like you go into a Taco Bell, which is a national franchise, and they have the power at that level.
How I handle phone numbers and websites for a client if they want to. I don't work with websites or any of that kind of stuff. I basically what I'm doing is just showing them another way to with the T-shirt, showing another way to bring in more clients, by giving maybe a 50% off offer. It depends on the business. I find the best businesses that have worked for me are the restaurants, because they, there's so many around where I live, and they are always doing so many offers, to bring a client in. So the client is attracted to is, I'm creating a revenue stream for them that they would, never have done before. You know what I mean? I'm offering them, the royalties, most of the royalty, and the businesses that are doing really well, they sell quite a few T-shirts. So that's extra income for them.
So I was curious about the kinds of restaurants that are. Can you hear me, Mike?
So I don't know if it.
I don't think Mike
I
can
can't
hear
see
me.
chat, so Fernando, you have to.
Yeah, I mean, we can hear you fine, Mike. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Yeah, that's what I was asking. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine. I mean, I will tell you. Don't worry.
Okay.
Can you-
No, I wasn't sure. I see you nodding, so I wasn't sure.
I was nodding at you. How would you
Okay.
say?
I don't think that I you can hear me, Fernando, but I don't think
I can hear everybody fine.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike?
Yes.
Is there any other questions? Yeah.
I don't think he's hearing me.
Mike, can you hear Holly?
She's gone on my screen. I can't hear her at all. Like her screen is blacked out.
She keeps talking and you keep interrupting.
Oh, I can't hear her at all. Her
Her
screen is totally blacked out on my.
Yeah, maybe
whatever it is.
refresh, Mike.
You want me to refresh? Okay.
Yes. Maybe you need to refresh because we were wondering why you were interrupting Holly. It was like, okay,
No,
now
he's gone.
no, yeah, he's refreshing. He will have to come back.
Okay.
And I was wondering what was going on because you kept talking. He would just completely cut you. I was like, okay, that's weird.
Well, he's got a good excuse.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now I see Holly. I didn't. Okay. Your screen went black. I don't know. Maybe my connection sucks. I have no idea.
Actually, your connection is a little.
No, it's mine. If it's anybody's karma, it's mine.
All right. Well, sorry, people, for everybody's like, "What's this guy doing?" You know.
Mike.
Yeah, we were like, okay, what?
Yeah, I know. That's why I keep looking at Fernando. He's making all these weird looks at me. Like, oh, okay. Sorry, guys.
Okay, at least it was a nice icebreaker here. So
I'll blame it on AT&T. Okay, that's my care.
Okay, Mike, if you can hear me, say yes.
Yes. Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I just was sure you couldn't hear me. So my question is, the restaurants that are like Taco Bell that are national franchises, can they on that level in your town make those kinds of decisions to do something on an individual level?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I actually picked up a few, and I have a couple of videos that I made. I picked up a Pollo Loco, Taco Bell, Kentucky Fried Chicken. As you know, that it's not one corporate that owns them all. There's, they're individually owned. So right. Yes, they had that decision, but that's where I need the contract from them, saying that I have permission to use that logo. You know what I mean? So, but all that stuff, it's done privately. Like you use a private link. They don't put that up on the merch platform. They use a private link, and where the people can order the shirt. They want to keep it really targeted. They don't want to sell to the world. It's not like you, Holly, putting up a design with a cat, whatever, and you want to sell to everybody. It's totally different. They have a mailing. They have an email list, and a lot of them have through social media, whatever they do, and that's what they do. They send that link to their people and have them buy. They want to, they want to keep it super local. So that's how that works.
One question that comes up, I know the answer to this, but so many people don't, so it's worth repeating. Are you allowed to put a company's website and contact information on a shirt?
We don't. They don't. I've never run into all the clients that I have. I don't put phone numbers, or they don't put phone numbers on. It's just a logo. Yeah, it's not their. It's just their logo. There's no phone number or anything. That's not. I haven't ran into that. So the clients that I have, picked up
where and they would look like a walking billboard.
I don't. for instance, I mean, maybe you're like the service industry. I don't really do like as far like like let's say like a plumber or or a painter and stuff like that. I don't target those kind of businesses, So
I mean, I don't think nobody will buy.
Those type of people probably want their phone numbers on. I don't see a reason why you couldn't put. I mean, they own the logo. You know what I mean? I don't see why you couldn't put their phone number in that. Yeah,
I was just assuming that these businesses, even Taco Bell or whatever, would want them to be walking around like walking billboards. But I guess I misunderstood that.
I mean, it's just their logo. They don't like if you look at any. I mean, I don't. They don't have they don't have any phone numbers. Just Taco Bell, or Kentucky, whatever. It's no phone number. No, it's just people. It's just like I said. For people to wear it in. And let me just mention one thing too. You like now you don't have back then took a while to the shirts took a while to get to to the people. So all they have to do is show a receipt, proof that they purchased a shirt to get the deal. You know what I mean? Now Amazon's gotten a lot better. I mean, you can get a shirt within a week, I guess. So or 5 days, it depends. So I mean, I've had customers tell me they're getting shirts in 2 to 4 days. So yeah, because of the Prime. Yes, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I've been curious about is last fall when we had the freeze and none of us could upload any new designs. So did that put a crimp in your momentum? Because you really couldn't go out and get more clients because you wouldn't be able to upload their shirt.
I couldn't really do anything then. I couldn't. I didn't really like push when that happened. I couldn't really go out and say, hey, let's get started. If I can't upload, then it's defeating the whole purpose. So that was that kind of sucked. So but I think a lot of people are still thinking that that's going to happen again. I don't know. I mean, Amazon, they don't tell you nothing. But I think you guys can agree they're better prepared this year. They're ready to for the rush. I think.
No, that's actually, you go right now to merch. They actually just announced that they will be trolling and that they will be limiting uploading. So welcome to Q4, people.
Really?
Limiting uploading. Okay, it's the word.
They just made the announcement about it. In order to ensure customer orders are shipped on time in November and December, we may temporarily reduce the availability of some products. During this time, these products may not appear in Amazon search results, or they may show as currently unavailable on product details. Additionally, merch may also lower daily publishing limits and pause account tier upgrades and new account approvals.
Oh, crap.
So upload 2 a day. Okay, somebody's saying they can upload 2 a day. Yeah, well, there you go. I haven't looked into my account today, so.
Yeah, so I mean, we knew what's coming. Last year they did it to us. I mean, it's the first time they officially say they throttle, so now we know they officially do. And so welcome to Q4.
It's better than not being able to upload, I guess, right? 2 a day is better than 0, right?
He can only upload 2 a day because he has an account under tier 100. We don't have that problem, but people who are 10, 25 or 100, they can only upload 2 a day. So I mean, usually those are the ones that they freeze first when things happen. So get your maximum uploads as soon as possible, people. When they announce it, that it's very short period of time before we see trolling and upload pausing. I'm sorry. One of the things Mike say here is that he usually targets restaurants, because that's, restaurants and salons, because those are the ones that, work for him. When I was in college ago, there was two local bars that if you were wear the shirt for the local event, they will give you a free shot or they will give you free cover for the night. So there's a lot of bars and discos or whatever that they may be interested in this type of promotion as well. You feel a couple of bar owners say, hey man, we can probably run this promotion for you. You can get people to buy a T-shirt, on Amazon, and they come to the door, like let's say, what is your lowest day of the week? Wednesdays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, whichever is your lowest day of the week, you can have run a promotion. And if they bring T-shirt, you're gonna have a free shot or free cover, or you're gonna have a dollar shots for the whole night to whoever wears something. You can have different promotions. I don't even know how much a shot is anymore. I haven't drank in so many years, but you can look for different options. It's not limited to only restaurants or or beauty salons. Look at him. He found
no sports bars. Yeah, sports bars work. Any like type of business that is offering something. But like I said, the number one that's been for me has been the restaurants. Because like I said, there's so many where I live and probably where you guys live too. That are trying to get you in the door. You know what I mean? So I have a couple of guys in my group told me that that they're having some success, saying that they're like waiving the fee and keeping most of the royalty. So it's up to you guys. It's up to I'm comfortable with asking for $250. You know what I mean? You don't have if you can get $50 or $100 to get your feet wet, that's fine. I've been in sales for a long time, so it's easy for me. If I'm not afraid to ask, for that money.
Lisa, what Mike does is, this asks, entire business aside, does this method follow the 80-20 rule? Majority of Mike's money is in the set of fees. What he does, yes, he believes in having the money upfront, $250, so that he gets the money, and then he gets about $1 for shirt he sells. He usually prices at what, in $19.99, and so so the $7.70+ that you make on at $19.99, he gets $1, and the remaining he gives to them. Now you can actually go the other different route and say, I can do a free setup for you, a free service. And you say, and I'm going to keep all the royalties, you use whatever shirt it brings, it does. It is, you have to find, if this works, it's proven that it works for him. He has his, already his sales pitch, plan. He has it well done. He has it nailed, but it doesn't mean that you can try something else. The opportunity is there. You just have to, where you feel comfortable, to Mike believes, it's better to have the money up front. He doesn't have to wait for royalties to get paid. He has so many customers right now that, that he makes. How many did you close a month, Mike?
Gosh, I closed last week. I'll tell you, last week I closed, one place had 4 locations. I closed like 8 places last week, but I put in the work, you know what I mean? I put in the work, and I've been at this over just about 2 years doing this stuff. It's not easy, I got a lot of no's. You have to have some kind of a thick skin, people get one no and they're defeated, it's, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, this is super easy, yes and no, but this is just another, I was just trying to show another way to get money instead of waiting for a royalty.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
Let me put it in perspective here. Look, eight restaurants he closed. 8 places he closed last week. That's $2,000. Now let's assume so in a month each one of those sell about 25 shirts. Let's just be conservative and say each one of them sold 25 shirts. That's 200 shirts at $1, guys. That is $2,000 used in closing fees plus $200. That's $2,200. Now do 8 a week. for a month, that is that's 80. I'm sorry, that's 9,600. That's almost that, you take in consideration the little bit of the fifth week that you got $10,000 a month business. You can actually commit to doing this. I mean, this is one of those, that you hear, all the time, like, hey, it could happen. $250 sound like it's not that much money. Now make it, add up to 8 places a week. You got $2,000 a week. This could be a very
it's different every week. I mean, like on the low end, like a bad month, I make $4,000. In a good month, I'm making over $12,000, $15,000 just in fees. And that's not counting royalties. It's not counting the tire. Like I said, forget the tire company. That's I'm making my first year well over 6 figures doing this stuff. 200 over $230,000 doing this stuff. So it's just, I was just trying to share my journey, how you can, instead of because listen, I hear all the stuff, people like getting the design stolen, or a lot of people teach that, just like take a good design and then just make it better, and that model is not going to last. I'm telling you, it's not, all that stuff, the copycats and getting into a niche and making it, it's not that's a short-term model. I'll tell you, maybe you don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. You guys know that. I mean, you have way more shirts than I do, so.
Yeah.
Yes, Mon. Let me just answer. Yes, I do charge a fee for a different location. Yes, I do. And for the restaurant, let's say like the 3 restaurants that I have, the pizza place had 3 places, so I charge them $250 per place. It's a different, it's a different campaign, the campaign's pretty identical, but it's a different city. You know what I mean? So when the advertisers, I'm just going what the advertisers would charge. They're not gonna, you're not gonna have an advertiser charge the same, charge one price for like 3 locations. It doesn't happen. It's never happened for me. They might give you a little bit of a discount, yes, but yes, I do. To answer your question, Monica, yes, I charge. But like I said, guys, this is just something. You can do whatever you want. If you want to charge one fee for 3 locations, if you feel better doing that, then go for it. I was just trying to give. I try to. This is what works for me. This is what I'm doing. So.
Yeah, and I can also say that with your course comes a Facebook group. And one of the great things about the Facebook group is people are experimenting and finding all these different ways to strategize and do this. There was one guy the other day that I think what it was he waived the setup fee, but there was a minimum of the business buying 10 t-shirts at the get-go, and they had no trouble doing that. Because then, they could have their employees wear the shirts, or, whatever they wanted to do with the shirts. And it worked beautifully.
Another guy waived. Yeah, I'm sorry. Another guy waived the fee and took more royalty. So,
yeah.
You can. And the cool thing is, like, you mentioned the course. It's a living, breathing course. I'm going to be adding to it. Like next month, I'm adding another module toward the end of the month. I'm doing stuff, this is bigger than merch. You know what I mean? This is like, I have, like I said, I have a small ad agency, and the next module that I'm going to do, I think it's going to help, the people that are afraid to talk to one another, and help them that way, show them like, but it'll take a little bit of investment to do it, but very low. So, you can, do stuff for free. Like, this is not how can I explain? Like this, this is somebody, this card is already paying for the ads. So I'm just taking something that they're already doing and helping them get another revenue stream. but if you are afraid, there's this other method that I'm going to show, or that I'm going to do. I think it'll be helpful to more of the introverts, that are not, But at the end of the day, guys, you have to talk to that owner. But this will break the ice. You know what I mean? But you still have to talk to them. If they're willing to call, listen. I think even you, Holly. It's not your. If somebody called you, if you did this, somebody called you. I think you can get on the phone and talk to them. I don't think you have a problem.
No, it's the breaking the ice. I'd rather eat glass than do a cold call, but at the same time, I don't think I would mind walking up and down the street and just dropping off pamphlets. That is
a business card too. Yeah, just simple. Just to get an appointment. Just and don't say too much. Just get that appointment where you can sit down and talk to them. You know what I mean? You want to pique some curiosity, with them. So, but that was a time suck. Like I said in the beginning, I was waiting, and then I just, if I was going to see a bunch of businesses, I had to change that. So, the question there, yeah, go ahead. You want to read it?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Excuse me. Besides sales rejection, what is the biggest challenge you have encountered from businesses? I haven't really had. I mean, just a rejection. Just people saying no, or that. I haven't really encountered. I'm pretty good at what I do, so that's basically the people just saying no to me. That's about it. Either they want the service or not, and there's so many businesses out there. So if they don't want to do it, then you move on. It's like anything else, just move on. There's plenty of businesses out there, and they need our help. Like for local business. People. I've had people ask, well, you can buy it locally, or they can do this and that. The business owner doesn't want to mess with doing all that stuff. To be honest, they want you to do it. I gave some of the companies if they got their own account, back I used to give them that option, but I don't anymore. And they don't want to mess with that. They want you to do it. They don't want to mess with uploading a T-shirt or any of that stuff. That's all I can tell you. They don't want to. And you guys know how fun that is, right? Uploading T-shirts. So, but no, it's just a different way, that of doing merch. If you are good at sales, or if you want to find a way that you don't have to upload 2,000 shirts or whatever it is, whatever tier you're at. It's another option, and you can email. I don't know if I brought up that you can email the client too. Like I said, you can email them, maybe, and just let them know. What's the worst? I'm sorry, I don't want to do business. You can't fear the rejection. If you're, I have a thick skin, so I'm used to getting the no's, because I remember, starting my own business, I had no clients, when I was doing windows, and I did it old school, going out and door knocking, and but I wasn't really salesy. I just walk up to the door and say, hey, Fernando, I just did your neighbor down the street. I cleaned his windows. Here's my card if you want your windows cleaned. That's it, and then walk away. I leave the, I just left the card in there, and I was nervous too doing it, but you have to go out and do it. Do you
other businesses then? When you want to go into a business, do you say, hey, this bar down the street, does the half price Tuesday drinks or whatever? Or, do you use that strategy?
Just try to get the, I just try to get the appointment. I'm really quick, like I said, and no, I haven't used that approach with the local vendors, just with my, window cleaning.
I mean, one of the important things of this, is that right now it's opening a door at a business for the merch product, right? These T-shirts. But just think about, once you go over these type of business for a couple of months, and now you have a nice, uh, volume of potential clients to sell them something else. Now you have all these managers that you have been doing businesses with, and later on, you probably have a relationship with a different print on demand company, and now you can offer them uh, batches or print their menus or stuff like that, and you can go and say, hey, I can probably print your menus, and stuff. I mean, you can have now access to these people to sell them something else, or help them with advertisement, or help them with a different type of promotion. So this can actually become a long-term relationship with business owners in your area, where you can actually do something more productive, long term. I mean, it doesn't have to be only the T-shirts today. I mean, like going, that you can go and say, hey, it's time for you to change something else. Hey, they probably have had success in the past couple 6 months to say, do you want to launch a different promotion, with a different shirt, or let's change it up, and you can go and refresh the agreement. I mean, it can be a long-term business relationship with these people that you can get, income streams for a long term if you play it correctly, ethically. Let's put it that way.
The pizza place, they have like 7 different shirts, I showed them, like I said in the beginning, and they ran with it, and they have 7 different campaigns going for different shirts. So, to me, it's really, I mean, merch is cool, but it's daunting. Like I always say this, it's daunting to upload, thousands of designs. And to me, it's like, I just feel, and this is my opinion, okay, I just feel it's an endless grind, doing your model, Holly, you know what I mean? Uploading shirts, and, I just, and what about if they don't sell? Then, you got 4,000 designs. And I mean, I listened to Daniel, in the early days. He had 2,000 designs, when they implemented that, if you don't sell within 90 days, come down. That's gosh, man, I don't know. It's a lot of work, I mean, you put all that time in and do it. And, Daniel does stuff differently too. I mean, he doesn't have all the tools, he's really good at with merch, and he does it so different. So like Fernando, you were saying, I'm looking for the long-term relationship with the clients, and you only need 5 to 10 at the most. I don't have to worry, to do really well at this, really. I mean, because you can, like I said, you can offer other things to that client. That's why you give them most of the royalty. So they're getting some type of revenue, and I say, oh wow, this guy created this revenue for me, and then I can go to them and say, hey, how would you like me to do a website or Facebook for you, or YouTube, or whatever? I don't have to be an expert at that stuff. I know people that know how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Farm that out, outsource. So that's what I do. I just I'm good at, like I said, getting the client. But I have people that do all that kind of stuff for me. So I don't have to be, like I said, be. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Holly, I'm sorry.
Do you upload any designs? Because I noticed that in the Facebook group for your course that you've been doing some contests with T-shirts, giving them away. So I was wondering, do you do anything?
Oh, I started doing your model, Holly. I did your model, but the other model, I'm uploading, but I'm not looking to, like most of the other people, looking to make 10K or whatever a month is. If I'm making sales, but nothing close to, my local stuff. But I'm still making a couple $100 excuse me, a month doing that, and just not really doing anything. The guy in our group, Nate Hibbert, I hope I'm saying his name right. He's a very talented artist, and he does all the keywords and everything, for me. So I'm getting organic sales, with the t-shirts that he's doing for me. And not everyone sells, no, but I have some really couple of good ones that, they're making some money, So yes, should I probably have done this maybe years ago, like 2 years ago, maybe. But I just found doing local, is so much easier for me and like I said, if your shirts come down, I know you got quite a bit of shirts, Holly. That's like, I don't know, man. That's just me, guys. Okay, I'm not knocking that model. There's people are crushing it. I know it. But for me, I don't. I'd rather I'd rather go talk to a client that I know I can help bring in more clients for them. That's what's gratifying for me, because I know I'm helping their business, So that's what I do,
Yeah, every time I talk to you, I was just going to say, every time I talk to you, I feel like, well, I've got to start pounding those payments tomorrow. I will eventually. But I'm wondering, I have been thinking about getting, we have a local college, junior college here. So I've been thinking about getting a marketing student or something like that to go out and pound those pavements for me. For somebody like me, that would rather have somebody else doing that part of the work, do you have a suggestion of how to structure paying somebody like that?
I would, if you're going to maybe do like some revenue, like share with them with the royalty, you know what I mean? I don't think somebody's going to go, for $10 an hour. I don't know we'll just use $10 or 20, let's say $20 an hour. Right? I don't know. I've never had to, the people that go and put the cards out for me, they're doing saying one thing and they're putting the card out, and I give them like 20 an hour to do that, and they're like, they're college kids, that some of them, no, they graduated from college and they have, they didn't get a job on what they were going to do. So, and they work, as much as they want to work. You know what I mean? If they want to work, I don't really push them. If they want to work 3 hours, fine. If they want to work, a whole day, then that's fine with me too. But they're just passing cards out. But if you, but I don't know. Like, you probably have to maybe either do that, pay maybe more per hour, or maybe something maybe less per hour with maybe a little royalty share or something, a buck or something, So, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah. I've been in business a long time. I just find people today don't want to work, which is sad. I try hiring some more, because my window cleaning business is just like, it's actually exploding, too, over the last 2 years, and I'm trying to hire people. They didn't even show up, So, they answer the ads and everything, but they don't show up, So, yeah, I have a tight knit people that are, they've been with me a while, so I take care of those people, and you gotta take care of the people that are with you for a while, So that's what I do. Yeah. But I don't, it's, they have, I don't know, Upwork and all these places, but you don't know what you're getting, you know what I mean? They say they have salespeople, but I don't know,
Yeah, well, I over the last year, I put out, I think, 4 Craigslist ads, and all salespeople, and they didn't get it, or they'd want to negotiate commissions, or, how much was I getting, that sort of thing. I mean, it just didn't work. So that's when I was thinking, well, maybe a marketing student that needs to pad their resume, and they know that sales is part of marketing. And, I was thinking, giving them a large portion of the upfront fee. So that also gives them,
they close it.
Yeah, exactly. And also they have an incentive to make the upfront fee, larger rather than smaller, because they're getting a good percentage of that. So, I don't know. I'm still structuring it. I did get to the point where I am an employer. I'm an allowed employer at the junior college. So that's a start. Yeah. But anyway, so do you want to talk a little bit more about your course and how people gain access to it?
Sure. So we came out with a course, I'm going to say almost 2 months now. And it explains in detail, and pretty much in detail, how to do what I'm talking about. It might sound foreign to some people, but I did a course with Dave Espino. I'm sure some of the people know who he is. I'm not Dave Espino is a guy, he's been around forever. He was on infomercials like in 1990, doing eBay, teaching eBay. So he approached me to do a course, and which I'm glad he did, because then I could, I don't have to keep answering the same question over and over, So, but it goes into detail what I do, and it has it's a very quick, it's not like a 50 module course that you need to go in, and it takes 10 hours to get through it. And you can get through it in I want to say 2 hours. I mean, go through it fairly quickly, and then like with me, how I learn, I watch it and then I go back again, and that's how I learn. So, but you can get through the course in 2 hours. You know what I mean? And it's not like it's very simple. It's not like what I'm teaching is really old school. It's direct mail. But I go into detail, and Dave, has takeaways, in the course too. Fernand, you put that. It's actually $97. So yeah. Yeah, and we priced it low like that, so that you can get one client, okay, and pay for the course. That's how I told Dave for us to do, because you buy a lot of stuff and it's $2,000 or how long is that going to take to get back? You know what I mean? And a lot of times, I talked to Fernando. He's like, people don't get through the course. They don't. Who's going to spend 40 modules? I mean, that's just the truth. Yes, people do. I'm not saying that, but most people are not going to go through it. But I wanted to make it affordable so that people can get their first success and just and have that paid for. So.
Do we know courses, Holly?
Sorry?
Do we know about expensive courses that we haven't taken?
Oh, please. Don't even get started. There are so many courses. I mean, I'm an addict. I'm an info addict. I know. My name is Holly Info Addict Helder, and
I like information too, Holly. Trust me. I love information. Even if you get and something trying to learn, if you can get one little nugget out of there, it's but I've gotten better. When you're starting out, and you're trying to. I think everybody has that shiny object, is there. But I had a mentor, so he helped me.
I have to add. I mean, you guys all know that I have a course, right? I mean, and it's not, and it's kind of conflicting of interest that I'm actually helping, somebody promote his own course. It's because, first of all, it complements mine, and it does something that I don't cover, and I took it and I found it, that is fairly fast to complete. I mean, I finished it in about 2 hours and a half, but because I wanted to finish it, because I was going to interview Mike last Monday, and for my course, for a segment on my course, and I wanted to understand what I was going to be talking about. So I went through the whole course, right? Through in 2 hours and a half, I watched almost every video nonstop. I mean, I was focused on it. Now, of course, you want to actually, take the information and you want to go a lot slower than that. But it's a course that, is so logical to follow. And I mean, it's well covered. And yes, you have Dave Spino there, I mean, who is a very, respected, person in the course industry, giving his takeaways and, and adding value to what Mike is adding. And then you have the, of course, the Facebook group, which I'm not a member, but I heard good things about. I mean, it's
well, you didn't ask to join. I'll put you in there. I don't like to just I'm not one of the guys that let me add you, Fernando. Because people get all weird about that kind of stuff. So I don't want just ask to join. I'll let you in, man. I just thought some people get really salty when you do that. So
many. I really hate when people add me, that I don't know out of the blue, and they say, "Okay, can we be friends?" Sure. And 5 minutes later, I'm in some group. And
yeah.
I'm like, come on, dude. I mean, at least buy me coffee before.
Holly knows. We talked a little bit. Holly knows. I don't go and ask people for things. You know what I mean? She was very, she's the one that connected you and I, and Michael S.
Oh, thank him.
No. So I don't know. I just, I don't sit on Facebook all day. I work on my business. I don't post in a lot of, I'm in groups, but I don't, and I pay attention, but I'm working on, like I said, I work on my business, and stuff, and I'll read things. I mean, I follow certain people, but I haven't really I posted my first video in Chris's group, and then Chris contacted me, and, we did Wounded Warrior and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I think, I don't talk to Chris as much, because I know he's busy and he's got his own, doing his own thing. But I got to give him props, he's the first guy to put it out to the world, and I'm glad I listened to him, or else I wouldn't be here right now doing this method, so I thank him for that. I got to give him props for that, he saw what I was doing and doing it differently, and I had success really quick. So I'm in his course too. I didn't ask for that. You know what I mean? He was gracious enough to put me in there, in his course, and it's hitting the streets with Mike. So he done some nice things, and I appreciate that. So getting back to my course, yes, I have a course. It's $97 to get in. But like I said, I'm not a guru. I'm not a guru. I'm not a course creator or any of that kind of stuff. But it's nice to have Dave kind of help me, do this, because then people can, if they want to find out, and like I said, instead of asking over and over, hey Mike, how do you do this? How do you do? It's nice to have a course now too. Be kind of legit, I guess. So.
Well, not only that, there are a lot of people, a lot of gurus who teach about a lot of stuff, and they don't actually do it.
Yeah.
You actually do it.
Yeah, I do this. Like I said, I don't have one course, and I don't, and how you can testify to this. I get on calls with people and talk to them. That's what's the nice thing about this course. You can, if you want to learn and you need to ask questions, I tell everybody in the group. I'll get on a call, and I've been on calls with people for 2 hours. So I'm a real guy. I'm not like, I don't think, I'm more into cleaner that learns something. Yeah, I'm a real person. I'm not looking, to take your money. And I'm here. So, Yeah, and like you said, Holly, I do this every day. I don't. I'm not here just teaching about it, and then I stumbled onto this, and no, I do this every single. It's a full-time gig for me now.
Yeah.
So, after like I said, after a year of really working at it, it's I'm blessed that I have another income coming in from it. So.
And something else that you've mentioned too is that there really is no competition. Even if somebody else, let's say somebody took the course and they actually live in your area, there's plenty of business to go around.
I can teach this to 10,000 people, and it wouldn't affect me at all. And you can live in my town. You know what I'm saying? You can live in the surrounding cities. It's that. That's what I'm saying. Nobody's doing what I'm doing that I know of. I mean, there's a couple people in the group that are starting to have some success, but I don't. I know there's other people doing what's that other licensing and stuff like that, or I actually Ken Real, which I saw him do a video, and I like what he does because it's different, he's actually talking to artists and, doing it. And here's the thing too, and I hope this doesn't make people mad, but when you when you upload designs, make sure you upload good stuff. Don't upload crap. No, I'm just saying, don't be mad at me for saying this. That's the short-term model, man.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff on merch is, it's bad.
Oh, it's unbelievable what people will buy. Unbelievable.
Yeah, but yeah, and that too. People will buy some, crazy thing with a saying on it, But I don't know. I think long-term, if you're gonna last, you want to put some nice stuff up, man. I just look this, and this is me, okay. I just look at it. If I see a shirt, like I see, you gotta like some of the stuff I see on merch. I'm not buying that stuff. I'm just being honest, man. A lot of the stuff looks crazy.
I wouldn't wear 99% of my shirts, so don't worry about it.
I don't know. I just think, find a good artist, I mean, I'm talking about the other model now. Find a good artist to do stuff, and like it's unpredictable, really. At the end of the day, you don't know what's, what I'm saying. You can throw some crazy thing that's, like some saying on your shirt, and it sells 50 shirts. You know what I mean? So, but I don't know. I think that don't, I mean, I'm not a fan of people copying other people's stuff. Like you see something and there's tools that you could use to find out stuff like that. Just try to be creative. Just you see a cat thing or a dog, whatever, I don't know, and you copy it and you just make it better. I like I said, I think that's short term, that's short lived. So I like what I do, like you said, Holly. I have zero competition, zero. And you can go today and, like you said, you walk on the street and talk to 20 people. Hey, you know about merch by Amazon? Nobody. They're gonna say. I bet you those 20 will say no. Maybe I don't think one person would say yes to you. That's how. Even though it's 2 years, it's still. I mean, like I hear what Chris says. FBA is for 10 years old now, and people still don't. I mean, I know this from talking to my own window cleaning clients, because I asked them questions. So, hey, what, did you do all your Christmas shopping? And they'll say, oh, yeah, I went to Amazon, bought everything, and we wrapped them up and put them under the tree. So I know I'm in the right, I know Amazon's, but I don't, at the same time, I don't put all my eggs there. You know what I mean? I'm not using it. I'm not building my entire business on Amazon, because I made that mistake with YouTube. I got my account and I was making like 10,000 a month selling these, being an affiliate for, Amazon, selling the Kindle, when it came out, and then I got flagged, some other marketer probably didn't like, because I was getting a lot of views, and they flagged and shut my account, and that income went away instantly. So that's why I do these other little things on the, but I removed like with the books and the private label. I have 3 people that are helping me, and I trained them and removed myself from that to stick to doing the local and the windows. I don't want, I can get my merch account shut tomorrow. Who knows, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I hear I'm not doing anything wrong, but merch. Oh, we saw this, dot over here. It's not right, and shut your stuff down. So, I mean, look. I'm just saying what people are, saying. Somebody, another guy got his account shut down because they were saying he was putting some kind of, I don't know, some material, something weird. And, and I know for a fact he's not doing that. So, that's the power of the, like I said, Amazon's great to build like stuff quick, and you not have a website or, send stuff in, but at the same time, they can, be your worst enemy,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I think the bottom line is that what you are doing is really as old as time itself, providing services for other people. It's not going away. Even if merch went away, you could use another print on demand service that, sells t-shirts. So you're not relying on merch. You're simply taking advantage of the opportunity and the name of Amazon, when you're, marketing the services to other people. But this does separate you from that roller coaster and insecurity and, just not knowing what's going to happen. Now, thank you, Fernando, for telling me I'm going to be so depressed now. I'm going to, now they're going to be limiting uploads and actually telling us that they're throttling. Isn't that great? But, those kinds of things, you have separated yourself from that. And that's the beauty of it. Your business is not.
I don't. The thing is, what I do is it's bigger than merch. I mean, it's like, and it's the same. I'm basically doing the same thing like what I do with my window cleaning clients. I do a good job, so they can call me back. A lot of guys in my industry, there's a lot of bad window cleaners. Okay, and they don't care. They're trying to gouge the customer, get the most money out of them, and then they go. And then I seen guys come in lowball stuff, and they try to steal, and then they like, oh my God, I should have charged more, and then they do a crap job. So I seen it all. So my thing is to work the same, like those customers are putting food on my table, so they're all gold to me, and and every time I go there to these clients, and I even though can you hear me, Fernando?
I'm fine.
Okay. Holly, well, we lost Holly, so.
No, I'm here.
But you can hear me, right?
Uh-huh.
No? Yes?
Yep. Can you hear me? We lost him. But, it's about 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So we probably should think about wrapping it up anyway.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who's connected. It's probably mine. Who knows?
Well, we were just saying it's about 90 minutes anyway, so it's probably time to wrap up. Yeah,
we respect people's time, but I appreciate the both of you, Holly. You and I have talked, and I appreciate you introducing me to Fernando, because Fernando and I. Last week, we talked for 4.5 hours. So
no kidding.
Oh yeah.
Well,
we were supposed to do the interview. We were supposed to do the interview, and we talked an hour before we did, beforehand. But I wanted to get to know him, and I think he felt the same. But it was. He's like, I gotta go to sleep, man. So.
Yeah, you're 2 hours earlier than me. I mean, I'm
It was like 11:30 his time, and I gotta go to bed. So. All right, I'll let you go. no, but it was that. But I appreciate, I appreciate the people being here that were here, and I, I appreciate the group I have. You know, like I said, I do this every day. So this is.
Well, it's been a real pleasure. I told Fernando, I said, Mike is publicity shy, and I saw him on another interview, and I thought, oh, he's doing interviews. Let's see if I can convince him to do a few. And just correct while we could.
Yeah, and I appreciate you connecting us and with Michael as well too. I guess I'm shy. I don't like to act. Not that I'm shy, but I don't like to go and just like, hey, interview me, like that kind of stuff. So
I know. I had to convince you.
Yeah. I appreciate that, Holly. Yeah.
Okay. I want to thank you, Mike, Holly. Thank you, guys. I mean, I know we went through a lot of technical difficulties, and thank you for sticking with us. I mean, it was plenty of you to stay here with us, during this 90 minutes. We appreciate it. I mean, as you can tell, Mike is not your typical, guru, that is used to being, on camera. I mean, it's, he's like, a regular person that does sales and made a course, and you got to see his course. It's very, very basic. It's just a regular guy talking about his technique, about what he's doing, how he's being successful about doing it. I mean, you get to speak with him. I mean, I spent 4 hours and a half with him on Monday because he's a very humble guy, and it was a pleasure to speak with him. I mean, it's one of those deals that I didn't even notice. We had already spoken for over an hour when I told him, man, we need to get this interview going because, I am not going to record anything. And, when we will go and when we finished, we started saying our goodbyes. And before we realized, we went for another hour and a half, speaking. And I finally, started looking at the clock, and I'm like, oh, wow, I need to wake up early tomorrow. I mean, this is the kind of guy that, it's good to have as a relationship. As you can see, I mean, it's a very, simple guy with a very good idea, took action, and now has so many different income streams, and he believes, having all his eggs in one basket, which is pretty much what, Mastering Print on Demand Group is all about. It's about finding different opportunities, not only merch. I mean, merch is great. We can make a lot of money merch by Amazon, but it's time for us to, take security into our hands, putting all the eggs into one basket, being merged by Amazon. It could backfire at us, and we could, one day Amazon can say, we don't want you as a seller, just because they had a hiccup, or because somebody made an error, or because you actually messed up, But you can lose your account in, recourse to recovering it, and there goes all your business model, and and there goes your income. So, I mean, I wanted to bring this one to the table. I mean, my father would have loved to do something like his, when, if he was alive, of course, because he was very good at selling door to door, and he would have been successful at this, with the internet. And I want to thank you, Mike. I mean, it's a whole different approach to business, that we don't get to hear every day in all these other groups. It's always about upload, and it's like you go to the groups and the messages, be robotic, meet your quotas, do your keywords, repeat, load and repeat.
Yeah.
And that's the
I can't.
And it's not about that. I mean, it's about finding what works for you and what you're comfortable, and going for it, and spreading your income stream if you want the freedom to be a self-employed, like all three are right now. I mean, you want to say something? Sorry, Mike.
No, I'm very humbled and thankful to be here with you guys too. I'm just like you were saying, I'm a regular guy. I don't make money on courses. It's just you could say I make mistakes and all that. I'm not a polished speaker or any of that stuff. I'm just an old school, I don't worry about all the little details of something. I'm very good at implementation. Like I know how to implement. I don't need to, like I can watch something once and then go do it. So, and I worry about the details later. So that's, just kind of, that's who I am. But I appreciate you having me on that.
No, thank you so much. Final thoughts, Holly?
No, that about wraps it up. I think we've all, we're all grateful. I mean, it's been a wonderful interview, and it's such an unusual strategy. And I think anybody watching this is going to be enlightened. So I say, and here we go. I signed up for the course. Sue, yay!
Oh, wow. Thank you, Sue. And like I said, anybody that signs up, if you have a question, feel free to hit me up, private message me. And you want to get on a phone call, that's what it's all about. I'll get on a call with you. So, with anybody. So that's, great. Lisa.
So, I mean,
great.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody here. And this was probably the most, accidentful, life that we had. The only one that didn't have a problem was Holly. I mean, first my computer crashed, then my microphone completely decided to say I don't want to work today, and so this is my computer microphone. Then when we got first with Mike, he sounded like a chipmunk, but it was something else.
It sounded like you guys, both of you, sounded like you had just taken a big toke of helium.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was like one after another. I mean, it was, but glad. I mean, like the content was there. I mean, you guys are sticking around to watch everything Mike had to say. I really want to thank you. I mean, besides all the technical difficulties we had, you stood and watched. I really want to thank you. And, and I'll see you Wednesday. I still have somebody pending, but hasn't confirmed. So probably I will just have a solo. I will have one of my rants where I will just drop a bunch of information. And on Thursday, we're going to have Anthony Bustiglio and Kevin Lebonas. So if you guys are not pro cussing, probably you guys don't want to watch, because we would have a rated R show.
The Jersey guys, right? Yeah.
The Jersey guys. We will have a lot of homes here in the house. And I know I'm from New York, so
Are you really? I didn't know that. So am I. I mean, I'm actually but I live in New York.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they're cool guys. They're like, they could be my brothers, man. So it's
gonna be a fun interview, and of course we're gonna be talking about his new tool. Of course, they had to call it something very the Merchinator. So which I'm actually testing tonight. But hey, I will see you on of course, in the group. And thank you, Holly. Thank you, Mike. And have a good night.
All right.
Okay.
You too.
Ciao.